Andertons TV. Today's episode is dedicated to the beautiful people at Cower Guitars in California. The Cower of Love, everybody. Yes, last year, 2020, in the midst of the COVID pandemic and a surge in guitar demand that the industry had never seen before, Andertons thought, well, who else is out there making guitars that we could bring to these fair shores of Guildfordshire? And we looked at all sorts of different builders. And to be honest with you, I kind of was actually overwhelmed by just how many builders there are out there now making a living. And you know, you've got your heritage builders, you know, your Gibsons and your Fenders. You've got your sort of your next wave that came out through the 80s, you know, your sort of your Charvels and your Jacksons and your G&Ls and all that kind of stuff.
Well, they were earlier than that.
Heritage.
Still, yeah.
But even now, you know, you've still got new builders kind of popping up.
Yeah.
Although in fairness to the guys at Cower, I was reading an interview that he did with, I think, Premier Guitar, which sort of, you know, makes me feel like he's probably been doing this for the thick end of 20 years as well. So
and if he was here today...
He would. If Doug Cower was here today, he would say, please like and subscribe these videos. He probably doesn't talk like that.
Videos?
I don't know.
Is that what they call us now?
So, we looked at this brand, and to be fair, we put the feelers out to a few well-respected players that we know, sort of going, you know, what do you think of this brand or that brand? And we heard nothing but really positive stuff about the Cower guitar guys.
Yeah.
So, Cower of Tower? Power of Cower?
Cower of Tower. Tower of Cower.
What is it like? The Power of Cower, or whatever it is. The Tower of Power. Anyway, so...
Tower of Cower.
We reached out, and they didn't have a dealer in the UK, so we signed up to be that. And
they have now.
The guitars have just arrived, or at least the first batch. So, there are several models in the Cower range, and today we're focusing in on the Korona ones. It's Korona with a K, basically called the Korona because it's inspired by some of Doug's favourite guitars made in Korona with a C. And of course, for those of you that know, you'll know that that's where the Fender factory is. So I guess this is their kind of T-style nod.
Yeah.
Although, as my colleague Pete has just pointed out to me, also called Korona because this model first came into the range during lockdown. And the guys at Cower gave the first 15 of these away, or at least sold them off to raise money for people directly affected by
I think
that.
they got about $30,000 or something out of it. So that's
kind of cool.
Really cool. That's really
cool.
So
lots of reasons why it's called a Korona, or a couple of reasons why it's called a Korona.
Yeah.
So the base Korona model has a few different options. You can check them out on the Cower website. If you want some help speccing up what might be right for you, by all means contact our guys in the guitar gallery and they can help you. But your options are pretty much as follows. You can choose between a Swampash body, which is what this one is, and a roasted pine body, which is the darker of the two that Pete's got here. They work with 3 different pickup manufacturers, so you can go Lola, Wolftone, or TV Jones. You've got different style bridges. Again, they're all a T-style bridge, but you know, they're different depending on whether you want one that's a half bridge, so you can have a humbucker at the back.
Yep.
The normal T-style bridge, although I say normal, it's this kind of one that's slightly routed differently. I think a little bit more comfortable if your hand tends to sit on the bridge.
I think so, yeah.
And then there's another one if you want a TV Jones at the back.
Yeah.
They're all 25.5-inch scale length, but of course you can see you've got options to have a Wenge fretboard with a bound edge, or a maple board like I've got here. They've got the Hipshot tuners on them.
Oh, the beautiful locking pearl tuners.
Yeah, really lovely kind of, you know, open gear tuners. Obviously you've got choices on colours and stuff like that. But this is a stunning guitar. They're so light.
They're so light. They're super light. But that pine is super light.
Which is the lighter out of pine and Swampash?
Well,
you know what? There's not much difference.
If
you dive over to our website, by the way, whatever we've got in stock at the time, actual photographs will be there, including the weight and you know, lots of close-ups so you can see. But of course, you can spec your own if you want to.
I like this little logo in the back here. It's etched into the wood.
Yeah. etched
Made
in.
in
So
California.
every guitar, when it comes off of the Cower finishing process, goes through a Plec machine as well to ensure the highest degree of kind of, quality with regards to the fretwork and the
Yep.
setup. I guess we should just give you some
We
tones.
should. 12-inch, as we point out, 12-inch radius.
So it's a
kind
fter radius than a
like a Les
vintage
Paul
telly, isn't
type
it?
of
A
thing,
lot fatter. Yeah, more like a Les Paul.
Yeah.
I would say that my feel, particularly on... Yeah, so they're all lacquered necks.
Yeah.
And it is a chunkier neck. It's a sort of, I think if you're familiar... Again, I would say early 50s kind of T-style.
Yeah, it's not that chunky, I don't think. It's slightly less chunky than that, but it's a comfortable chunk. We'll give some tones, Lee. Let's have a listen to that one, Butterscotch.
So, Pete, what have I got in this guitar pickup-wise?
You got a Lola Imperial in the neck and a J Street in the bridge.
Lola, not hugely familiar with them, other than I know that they're good. There's no pedals. The action on here is crazy low. Spanky.
I like it.
I like it a lot. I mean, I chose this guitar during the sort of the pre-jam bit that Pete and I do for 5 minutes, basically known as the research section of the video. And I tried this one, then I went over to that one, and I kind of came back to this one because it's just, I just think this is fab. Very T-style. So that was the middle position. Here's the bridge. With no pedals, tons and tons of, I tell you what is really nice, I've never seen this done. I don't know if Cower get these made specifically for them. I love the fact that instead of having, like, we've got 1 to 9 on the volume, and in the gap between the 1 and the 9, they actually type, or what's the word?
Volume.
Pete? No, the engrave. That was the word.
They engrave it.
They
Yeah,
engrave the word volume and then tone on the back. So
yeah, and so you can get these top hat golding. Oh, I love those.
yeah, very,
awesome.
very cool. So
Yes.
let's see what the actual tone controls do. It's so spanky, this. So spanky. Okay, let's put a bit of gain from a light speed.
Light speed.
Light speed. It's quite
You
addictive.
like it.
It's quite addictive to play this. That is spanky. What about with a Dane? A little bit smoother. Sorry, John.
Did you say sorry, John?
Well, I went. I mean, look, it doesn't take long to take you through the tones on this, but what does take a long time is to
stop playing.
Is to stop. Yeah, because it's just... I love all the detail. I love the engraving around the edge of the pick guard. I love the way they've put the detail on the volume and tone controls. I absolutely love that it's brought to you by the Cower of Love on the back.
Yeah. And I love this little
what, the extended belly cut?
It's like an
thing?
It's all the way across the guitar. I think it's great. I think the shape is great as well.
Well, it's interesting, the shape, because I when I first saw these, I kind of got like a little bit of a Huber and a little bit of a Novo kind of vibe from it.
Yeah.
And then when I was reading the blog or an interview I think he did with Guitar.com, I believe Nick Huber was quite an influence on him as a builder in the early days. Gave him a lot of tips and advice on how to get into this game. So that's lovely. And Mr. Pete, show us yours.
Rightly so. This is Doc's favourite combination with the roasted pine, which he said to me on the Instagram. So the pickups are the same pickups as you've got in yours. And that combination apparently is Doc's favourite, with the pine and the
roasted pine and these two
exactly.
pickups.
I mean, I'm partial to a pine guitar. I don't know for what reason, but I just like it. These are super light, but I mean, it's incredible.
I mean, I'm going to totally guess, but this is a sub £7 guitar.
Oh, it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're super light.
They're super light.
They're super duper light. Anyway, so here is the neck. And I've got the Wenge, of course, with the binding on it. Which
how do you say Wenge?
Wenge.
Wenge. So is it Venge or Wenge?
Well, how do you say Venge?
I mean, I would say
Henge.
When you say Wenge, yeah.
Wenge, because you say
Wenge. But I think it's
Stone
Wenge.
Wenge.
Stone Wenge. That's the fretboard, isn't it?
Yeah, the Stone Wenge.
Stone Wenge.
Okay, Lee, so here is some clean tones from this. I love this colour.
It's a great
Pelham
colour.
blue. I mean, this is a lovely combination.
Yeah.
With the pine and that. I mean, pine and that. Sorry, I swapped pickups. Here is the bridge, so that's a telly pickup, which you would assume is kind of right, which it is. And that's when you turn on the tone. You can hear the tone when you just...
spanky.
Yeah, it's so spanky.
Do you know what? I love the two-tone headstock. I know there's a few brands do this, but what's kind of a bit weird is if you shoot this against a dark background, you don't see this black bit, and you just think you've got like a Parker Fly headstock.
Exactly. That was what I thought first. I was looking
like...
at the pictures, going, "Is that the guitars?" But
No.
actually, it's got that bit. I love the logo. It's cool. Cower.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's Cower of Lovely. This one is serial number 136. It's a beautiful thing. Let's try a bit of gain. That's just medium gain. Let's try it with one of these new Hot Rod Compact Origin.
on to the green one.
Yeah, let's do that quickly.
Because the green one has got some different pickups in it.
Certainly.
I should say, whilst Pete is switching over, Cower are, they're not, they're not your kind of your Fender Gibson 1,000 guitars a week kind of coming out the factory kind of place.
No.
So already lead times on Cower guitars are 6 to 9 months. Woo! So I know. So if and I said it's tiny custom, boutique builder. So if you're thinking, I really want one of those, but I just want it with a different spec or a different color, again, please give our Guitar Gallery guys a call. They can tell you what we've spec'd up and what we've got coming in. But if nothing on that list takes your fancy, of course, you just have to get your own order in and sit tight and wait.
Sit tight and wait. So that can be difficult sometimes if you got the gas.
So that's a Swamp Ash body.
Yeah, with a roasted maple neck.
Wingy board.
Wingy or wenge.
Love that colour. The black with the
olive.
Ah, it looks great.
It is a cool
But
colour.
now we've got a humbucker at the bridge.
And a P90 at the neck.
And a P90 at the neck. That's raucous.
And you got this kind of half or
bridge.
quarter telly bridge. The string through always makes it go.
So what pickups are in there, Mr. Pete?
So this is a Novel 90, and this is an El Rayo.
But still
Mayo,
both,
but spelled with R
Still
instead.
both Lollas.
Still both Lollas on this one, yeah.
Come on.
And come on, let's see what that does. Ooh.
A lot. It's what you'd expect, isn't it? I mean, just a lot more powerful than having the single coil at the
It's just
at the
fatter,
bridge.
not as pokey, where with that you just have to turn down the... Here's the middle position. Oh! Sounds good, doesn't it?
I like it.
This is nice. P90.
I like that a lot.
It sounds delicious. Let's try some gain. Moderately 9 o'clock gain from the Dane. I'm going to put the Origin effects on there, the Cali 76. Middle. Oh yeah. That's nice, isn't it? And here is the P90. You're right, it is addictive. They're addictively
so addictive.
good.
Well, look, I don't think there's much else to tell you about these guitars. I think, Pete, you should play this one in the Outbound
I would love to
Jam,
play that one.
And I want to play the green one.